I'm Jordan Teasdale, I'm 22, and I love to read.
Do you remember what the first book you ever read was?
Yes, it is actually called Something Good by Robert Munsch, and my mom told me that I actually memorized the book and would read it in bed even before I knew how to read.
What is the fastest you've ever read one book?
I read a chapter book in about 5 hours. It was called My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick, and I read it in high school, and it was just a super fast contemporary book, so that means it takes place in real life, so there's less things to learn, where in a fantasy book you have to learn a bunch of new terms in a new world.
How many books have you read so far this year?
I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure I'm at 15.
What is the most amount of books you've read in a single year?
The most I read was 65, and that was in grade 11.
Have you ever gotten bored of reading in general and wanted to take a break from it?
Yep, it is actually termed a reading slump online. So it is when you read a whole bunch of books and then you kind of burn out and then don't want to read anymore. That's happened to me, especially when I'm in school, because I don't have time to read as much and I get really tired and would rather just watch YouTube or Netflix instead of putting in the effort to read.
What is the worst book you've ever read?
The first one that comes to mind is Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. I don't know why I still own this. It was absolutely awful. It was about a Stockholm Syndrome kind of story, and it was very poorly written, and the main character was a complete idiot, so it just makes me angry and I should just get rid of it.
And what is your favorite book of all time?
My favorite book of all time is Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. It is a historical fiction book that takes place during World War II, and it is so beautifully written and made me cry multiple times, and I recommend it to anybody.
Who is your favorite author?
My favorite author is definitely J.K. Rowling, because she introduced me to the world of Harry Potter, which kind of introduced me to the world of reading. If I didn't read those books, I wouldn't have become as avid as a reader as I am today.
How do you feel about movie adaptations of books?
Kind of depends on who adapts it. I find that sometimes people don't put in as much effort because they know a lot of people will just go and see the movie because they read the book. The first example that comes to mind is Percy Jackson, a terrible adaptation, but it's a really, really good book, and Disney kind of just didn't put any effort into it because they knew so many people would go and see it regardless.
What book are you currently reading?
This is the book I'm currently reading. I have about 200 pages left, and it's one of my favorite authors, Cassandra Clare. And I also have, it's also signed, which is cool. By the author. Pretty boring signature, though.
What is your favorite memory related to reading?
My friend and I in grade 12 were anticipating the final book in a really big series that we loved all throughout high school, and it is called the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and the author told all of the fans that 6 characters were going to die in the last book. So in math class, instead of doing our homework, we drew out family trees and relationship trees and tried to predict who was going to die before the last book came out, and we weren't right at all.